Hello there friends! You are, as always, on the CSGO news channel. As soon as we finish with the blast, the pro scene is throwing some more info for us to discuss once again. Yekindar in Liquid, a new player in Spirit, and Navi became the best team in history. So as always, I have collected all the most interesting news just for you. Let's go! We will start off with the official reshuffles, since a lot of them have happened in these 2 days. First, Heroic announced that they'll be signing a new player. Everyone expected it to be Jabby from Copenhagen Flames, and they signed him indeed. So now, he took the place of Refresh. The guy has already been nicknamed Luka Modric from the world of CSGO. The organization then decided to make a comment. Many were probably surprised by our decision to carry out replacements in a team that consistently takes place in the top 10. But we, as the Heroic team, are ready to take the risk and potentially lose something very good, but then eventually get a chance to become the best. Also, talking about changes, there's no way not to mention Fnatic. For a long time, they just weren't able to find the 5th player and the fans just begged them to bring an old pal Forrest in. However, the management decided to take another approach and invited Heap as a stand-in, a former Dignitas player, a team which, as you remember, recently left CSGO. Well, and a few more official changes, and again, all the rumors were confirmed. Yesterday, Spirit announced their 5th player, and what a surprise, it was wonderful. The guy is only 17 years old, and even their coach says that he has everything to become a top sniper for real. And Spirit is exactly the team that can discover new talents. Well, since we're talking about talents here, it's still unclear what will happen to Dexter. He really did not miss a chance of proving himself playing for OG, and many began to talk about his possible chances of staying in the team. In general, he fits perfectly, doesn't he? However, Nexa dispelled all these rumors and said that Mantu is returning to the lineup soon. Overdrive also shared that Spirit put up a price for Dexter. It's $300,000. Well, it is quite a reasonable price for a very strong sniper. According to insider Nell, he basically has a direct path to one team. An obvious step for Dexter now would be transferring to ENCE. I do not know how well he would fit, but he can definitely help strengthen them against Hades. Otherwise, I have no idea where he could find a place for himself. Abdul himself says that he does not want to stay in the CIS unless in Navi. And so, if you take a minute to really think about it, ENCE is a really good option. Well, because there's no more ideas where else he could go at all. Almost all tier 1 teams have no problems with their snipers. Maybe Liquid, but also very much unlikely. Mouse has also its young Torzi, maybe Endpoint then, if there's no other way. In general, there are actually not so many options, but we'll see what happens in the future. Well, since we already have mentioned Liquid, they have already began to carry out the first rearrangements. Dabs took the place of Adrian, and they also invited Yekindar to the upcoming IEM Cologne as a stand-in. So, turns out Richard Lewis was right. By the way, according to information from insiders, Yekindar was far from being the one and only option on Liquid's list. At first, they decided to come to Snacks, but according to ESL rules, they could only take him if they signed a long-term contract with them, because he had recently been a stand-in in ENCE. You can take a stand-in place in other team only after 120 days pass. Then they asked Complexity if they could take JKS, but they requested money for his services. It turns out that other players could have taken that place instead of Yekindar. And you won't believe it, the announcements didn't end there. K23 didn't hesitate to announce their new lineup. After Norbert and Fame left, Klax and Ragin took their places. Again, all this has been known for a long time from different insiders. Well, one more news that came in this morning. According to the Dust 2 portal, Cirque and Brazy are planning to quickly get themselves out of a sinking ship called Evil Geniuses. They have a contract until September of this year, which they are not planning to renew now. I think after such results and various scandals, it was not a surprise, right? Well now, let's talk about some updates in the HLTV rating. Navi again placed themselves very close to the first place. They are separated from FaZe by only 7 points. Vitality unexpectedly stepped up and returned to the top 5. The rest is all practically the same. And then the analysts calculated everything, and it turned out that after winning the Blast, Navi became the most titled team in history. During their entire long journey, they won 25 trophies. In this regard, they beat NIP, who have 24 trophies, and Astralis with their 23 victories. Only tier 1 tournaments where the top teams were present were considered though. So, in fact, now we can call Navi the best team in history, or at least the most titled. Apparently, feeling the uniting sense of joy, they immediately decided to sign Sumdai Young to their lineup. This is still unofficial, but he has already appeared on the website. The club's sponsors have been added on his Twitter account, and in general, everything looks like he's the official player of the team. Well, I think after Simple's words about his utter wish to keep Samdae Young in the team, everything became obvious to everyone. And finally, a little information about Source 2. Recently, the official CSGO account published a photo showing that they are in the process of doing some tests in the game. But according to them, this is just a test. They insisted it was nothing more. This, of course, immediately spread across the internet. A bunch of insider info immediately appeared, saying that the announcement of the new engine will be in August to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the game. Friends, what do you think? Do you believe it's real? Well, this is the main news for today. Subscribe to my channel to always stay up to date with all the events. Okay guys, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.